Hey guys, I was recently at CENTRALE for Contemporary Art in Brussels, Belgium, and I wanted to take a moment to bring you with me into that experience and share what stood out, what stayed with me, and why this space feels so important right now. Walking into CENTRALE for Contemporary Art, you immediately feel that this isn't a museum in the traditional sense. It doesn't greet you with a single narrative or a fixed point of view. Instead, it opens up into a series of conversations. Some quiet and intimate, others bold, layered, and even a little uncomfortable in the best way. The building itself feels alive, almost like it's breathing with the work inside it. You're not being rushed from one masterpiece to the next. You're invited to slow down, wander, and sit with ideas. As I moved through the space, each room shifted the mood. Some areas felt meditative, where the work asked for patience and close looking. Other rooms were more confrontational, dealing with scale, material, and presence in a way that made you aware of your own body moving through the space. Installation, sculpture, video, sound, everything flowed together without clear boundaries. What I loved most was that the art didn't try to explain itself too much. There weren't answers being handed to you. Instead, the works invited curiosity, reflection, and interpretation. CENTRALE really feels less like a museum and more like a living platform for ideas, where contemporary art responds directly to the world we're in right now. One of the exhibitions that really pulled me in was by Michel Couturier, titled La Friche la Galaxie. This body of work explores urban and landscape-inspired imagery, but not in a straightforward documentary way. It feels more like fragments of places, memories of cities, outskirts, abandoned zones, and transitional spaces. As you move through the exhibition, you start to notice how the works blur the line between what feels familiar and what feels imagined. There's a sense of expansion in his work, almost like the city stretches beyond its physical limits and turns into something cosmic. What struck me about Couturier's exhibition was how it made me think about space, not just architectural space, but emotional and psychological space. These works feel rooted in the everyday environments we move through, yet they're transformed into something slightly off, slightly distant. It's the kind of exhibition that quietly lingers. You leave the room still thinking about it, still connecting it back to places you've been, cities you've walked through, landscapes you've passed without really noticing. Another powerful presence at CENTRALE was the work of Lazara Roselle Albert, presented as part of the museum's contemporary program. Her work brings a very different energy into the space. There's a strong sense of materiality and process, and at the same time, an emotional undercurrent that runs through everything. Her practice feels deeply personal, but never closed off. It opens outward, inviting viewers to meet it with their own experiences. Spending time with Roselle Albert's work, I felt a tension between fragility and strength. There's an awareness of history, identity, and transformation embedded in what she presents. It's the kind of work that doesn't demand attention loudly, but once you're there, it holds you. It asks you to stay a little longer, to look again, to notice details you might have missed the first time. In the context of CENTRALE, her work fits perfectly into the broader conversation of how contemporary artists are navigating memory, place, and the body in today's world. Then there was Grégoire Motte and his exhibition De Nacht van Witloof. This show brought a very specific atmosphere into the museum, one that felt rooted in local culture while still speaking to broader ideas. The title itself already sets a tone, hinting at something nocturnal, something hidden, something unfolding after hours. As you move through Motte's exhibition, there's a sense of humor mixed with darkness, familiarity mixed with unease. What I appreciated about De Nacht van Witloof was how it plays with references, cultural, social, and personal, without ever becoming too literal. There's an intimacy in the way the work is presented, but also a sharp awareness of context. It feels grounded, yet conceptual. This exhibition reminded me how powerful it can be when artists pull from specific places and experiences while still creating space for multiple interpretations. Together, these exhibitions made my visit to CENTRALE feel like moving through different layers of contemporary thought. Each artist approached space, identity, and environment in their own way, but there was a clear dialogue happening between the works. Nothing felt isolated, everything felt connected, even when the approaches were completely different. What really stays with me about CENTRALE is how it encourages engagement without pressure. You're not told what to think, you're not rushed, you're trusted as a viewer to bring your own perspective into the room. In a time when everything moves so fast, this kind of space feels essential. It reminds you that art doesn't always need to shout to be powerful. Sometimes it just needs room to exist. So for my listeners, if you find yourself in Brussels, Belgium, CENTRALE for contemporary art is absolutely worth your time. And even if you're not there physically, I hope sharing this experience gives you a sense of how vibrant and thoughtful the contemporary art scene is right now. This visit was a reminder of why I love doing this, traveling, seeing, listening, and then bringing those stories back to you. This is part of an ongoing journey through art, and I'm excited to keep sharing spaces like this with you. Stay curious, keep looking closely, and I'll see you in the next one. A new season is here, and I've got some incredible guests I can't wait to share with you. I'll also be dropping an art guide featuring some of my favorite galleries, museums, art fairs, and artists you should definitely check out. All episodes are now streaming visually on YouTube and Instagram and audibly on Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and all major streaming platforms. If you haven't already, make sure to follow and subscribe for more art adventures. Thank you to everyone who supported the podcast and to everyone listening in over 160 countries worldwide. To my new listeners and my day ones, I love you. Thank you for being part of this journey through art. Have a guest you think I should interview next? Drop their name in the comments. With hundreds of episodes recorded live in over 10 countries, catch up on previous guests while you wait for the new season to drop. Stay tuned. Ciao!